Namaste, Namaste everyone. Welcome to NEET and JEE Mains classes. We have finished 20 problems in thermal properties. Now today we will move on to the thermal properties of gases. How do the gas expand when heated? You know that, Namaste everyone, welcome to the class. We know that when gases are heated, they need a container. So you have to expand it in a container. When the gases are put in a container, they occupy the volume of the container. And if it is heated, of course, gases expand. And suppose there is a provision in the container to for the expansion of volume also. If it has a piston, and if the piston can move, what happens is the gases expand. So there is a change in volume. And there is a change in pressure, which is not found in solids and liquids. When liquids and solids are heated, we don't find any change in pressure. But here there is an extra thing, change in pressure, change in volume, change in temperature. So all the three things have to be monitored. So what we do is we keep any one factor constant. For example, when pressure is constant, what happens to volume and temperature when a gas is heated? When volume is kept constant, what happens to pressure and temperature when it is heated? And when temperature is kept constant, what happens to pressure and volume? All the permutations, combinations. So it is found that we have some gas laws, correct? One is Boyle's law, which says volume of a gas is inversely proportional to pressure, and that is made when the temperature is constant. So volume of a gas is inversely proportional to pressure when temperature is constant. Okay? Then this is an equation for isothermal process also. So PV is equal to a constant. This is an equation for isothermal process. So what do you mean by isothermal process? The process where temperature is kept constant. And we have some other process like adiabatic process. So what is an adiabatic process? Before going to adiabatic process, at constant temperature, pressure and volume are directly inversely proportional. So if you are asked to draw a graph of volume versus pressure, okay, volume versus pressure like this, then you know that inversely proportional graphs are always like this, rectangular hyperbola, because if volume has to be 0, then the pressure has to be infinity. Similarly, if pressure has to be 0, volume has to be infinity. So they don't touch the x and y axis anywhere. So this is the equation of state for isothermal process, PV equal constant, and this is the graph for isothermal process. And you know that there are two Charles laws, that pressure of a gas is directly proportional to absolute temperature, right, at constant volume. If you keep a gas in a fixed cylinder, fixed volume cylinder, where volume is not changing with time, in such a case, then when you heat the gas tries to expand, but there is no scope for the expansion because the cylinder doesn't allow the gas to expand. So there is a pressure developed inside. More the temperature, more will be pressure. So pressure is directly proportional to temperature in such a case. Similarly, if you allow the gas to expand, keeping pressure constant, you have a piston and allow the piston to move, then volume is directly proportional to constant. Volume is directly proportional to temperature at constant pressure. Pressure is directly proportional to temperature at constant volume. Volume is inversely proportional to pressure at constant temperature. That's what we have. And if you combine all the three, you will get PV by T is a constant, right? Or PV is equal to, or PV by T is equal to NR, where N is the number of moles in the gas, R is the universal gas constant, and PV equal to nRT. That's what we see, right? These are the equations. And we have a special process called adiabatic process, where the heat is neither allowed to move outside the system nor inside the system. When we go for adiabatic process, we put the gas in a container which is a non-conductor of heat. There is no exchange of heat between the surroundings and the system. So in such a process, we have three equations. PV to the power gamma is a constant. When we have the data of pressure and volume variables, PV to the power gamma is a constant. You know what is gamma? Gamma is the ratio of specific heats for a gas. Because when you know when a gas is heated, there is a change in pressure, change in volume, right? So keep the pressure constant, raise the temperature of the gas by 1 Kelvin. How much heat energy is needed? That is called specific heat at constant pressure. And heat the gas at constant volume, keep the volume constant, raise the temperature by 1 Kelvin. How much heat energy is needed? Same gas, same rise of temperature, but different processes. Once you keep the volume constant, heat it. And once you keep the pressure constant, heat it. Raise the temperature by 1 Kelvin. You know that when the pressure is kept constant, we have an extra work. When the volume is kept constant, there is no extra work. Just keep on heating. All the heat energy you supplied is used to raise the temperature of the gas. But when volume is kept constant, all the heat energy is not used to raise the temperature of the gas. Some extra heat energy is required to keep the pressure constant and to move the piston. So always Cp is greater than Cv, and this is called gamma, the ratio of specific heat. Amount of heat energy required to raise the temperature of 1 mole of the gas or 1 kg of the gas, depending on which you are, molar specific heat or usual specific heat. So amount of heat energy required to raise the temperature of 1 mole of the gas by 1 Kelvin, keeping pressure constant, keeping volume constant. Cp is always greater than Cv, so this is always greater than 1. And that ratio is called gamma. Gamma is very important for a gas. Okay, we are going to discuss about gamma later clearly in thermodynamics. Okay, now this is one equation for adiabatic process. If pressure and volume are variable, if temperature and volume are variable, Tv to the power gamma minus 1 is a constant. And if temperature and pressure are variable, 1 minus gamma by gamma is a constant. Tp to the power 1 minus gamma by gamma is a constant. So these are the equations. With these equations, let us solve some simple problems. Okay, right. We'll go to the first problem. Thermal expansion of gas. By what percentage should be the pressure of a gas, given mass of gas, be increased so as to decrease its volume by 10%? First of all, what you have to do is, in such a problem, you have to search for the variables. What are the variables? By what percentage should the pressure be of the given mass of gas be increased? Pressure is a variable. So as to decrease its volume by 10%. No question of temperature, volume and pressure. So volume of a gas is inversely proportional to pressure. That is our conclusion. Boyle's law. By what percentage should the pressure of a given mass gas be increased? Don't know what should happen to the pressure, so that its volume decreases by 10%. Okay, I will take it like this. Pressure is inversely proportional to volume. P dash in is inversely proportional to the new volume is decreased by 10%. Volume decreases by 10% means if you take the first volume as 100 V, here you have to substitute 90 V. Decrease it by 10%. But I haven't taken 100 V here. I have taken 1 V here. So decrease by 10%. Out of 100, 10. Out of 1, it is 0.1. So decrease it by 0.1. When you decrease 1 by 0.1, what you will get? 0.9 V. Correct? It is 0.9 V. So a 10% decrease in 100 makes it 90. A 10% decrease in 1000 makes it 900. A 10% decrease in 1 makes it 0.9. You have to decrease by 0.1, so it becomes 0.9 V. So what is P dash? Divide them. This equation and this equation, divide it. What is P dash compared to P divided is equal to that constant of proportionality gets cancelled. So what you will have? P dash 0.9 V here and P inverse here. VV gets cancelled. What is P dash is equal to? P dash is equal to P by 0.9, that is 10P by 9, correct? 10, I will multiply and divide by 10. What is this? 1.111. Multiply it by 100. So new pressure is 1.11 times the old pressure. That means new pressure is more because volume has been decreased by 10%. So pressure has to increase automatically. New pressure is 1.11 P. It is not equal to 1 P. How much extra we have? 0.11 P. 0.11 P in fraction, because if we had got P dash equal to P, what would be the conclusion? The new pressure and the old pressure are same. They are equal to each other. If it is 1.11 P, what do you mean by 1.11 P? 0.11 extra we have. Multiplied by 100, we get 11. So 11% more. So this contains 11% more. Suppose this was 1.5 P, what would be the conclusion? If this was 1.5 P, the new pressure is 0.5 times extra than the old pressure. 1.5 times. It is same as the old pressure plus extra 0.5. That means 50%. 0.5 is the half of 1, right? It is 50%. So here it is 11%. 11.11%. That is the answer. Okay. 21. 22. Which of the following methods will enable the volume of an ideal gas to be made 4 times the original value? Finally, you should get the volume of the gas 4 times the original value. Which provision will make it, right? Which option will make it the volume 4 times the original value? You know PV is equal to mu RT and RT, and then or PV by T is a constant, right? You will see this. Double the temperature and double the pressure. Shall we do that? Double the temperature, double the pressure. Will the volume be 4 times? Oh, okay, we will do it like this. We will change the equation like this, not here. PV by T is equal to constant, right? Or PV is equal to, we have to make volume of an ideal gas to be made 4 times the initial value. Okay. PV is equal to mu RT or nRT. Volume is equal to mu R is a constant. Don't worry about this. Temperature by pressure. Okay. Now here we will take it. Volume should become 4V. That is what is our aim. Double the temperature and double the pressure. Will it do? No, it will make the volume same. No, not possible. What about half the temperature and double the pressure? Sir, why did you select this formula? Somebody might have got this doubt. Why did you? Because I have seen the options already, but you are looking to the question first time, or I have given the PDF. You might have seen it earlier itself. Now, here, when you see the option, you have all types of possibilities, changing temperature, pressure, volume. That's why I have taken equation which contains all the terms. Okay, double the temperature, double the pressure won't do. Half the temperature and double the pressure. Half the temperature, double the pressure. 2P, T by 2. That will make it volume 1 by 4 times. They want 4 times the initial value, not 1 by 4 times. Gone. Quarter the pressure at constant temperature. Quarter the pressure at constant temperature. This 4 goes to the numerator. This will do. Quarter the pressure means make the pressure P by 4. 4 goes to the numerator because already P is in the denominator. 4 times the original volume. That is okay. What is about this one? Quarter the temperature at constant pressure. Quarter the temperature T by 4. This 4 comes to the denominator. Volume becomes 1 by 4. No possibility. So third one is the correct option. This is the option. Quarter the pressure at constant temperature. Okay. Right. My remote. A container has an ideal gas at a pressure 5 atmosphere and temperature 27 degrees centigrade. 1/3 of the gas from the container is removed and the temperature is increased by 60 degrees Celsius. The pressure of the gas and the enclosure is, yes. What are the variables in this problem? I think you can see the problem, right? You can see the problem up to this, yeah. Yeah, you can see it, right, yeah. Here also the edge, right? We can, yeah. Hope you can see that, right? A container has an ideal gas at a pressure of 5 atmosphere, or we will do it, we will bring it a little bit to this side and below. I am having doubt whether you can see it or not. Yeah, now I think you can see. A container has an ideal gas at 5 atmospheric pressure. So pressure is a variable and temperature 27 degrees Celsius, right? Okay, temperature is 27. 1/3 of the mass of the gas is removed. That means when you remove 1/3 of the mass of the gas, number of moles will change. So that is also a variable now. We are removing some gas and doing the experiment. So n mu, number of moles, because number of moles decide the mass, right? More the number of molecules, more will be the mass, directly proportional. So that 1/3 is, and remember another thing, 1/3 of the mass of the gas in the container is removed. Very, very careful. How much you will substitute for the new volume, or sorry, new number of molecules? It is not 1/3, it is 2/3. Why? Because 1/3 is removed, not present in that. 2/3 is present. Okay, that is very important. And temperature is increased by 60. Again, you see, these sentences will trap you somewhere, even if you know the problem, how to solve the problem, even if you know the solution. Yeah, by removed, present is 2/3. Temperature is increased by 60. The pressure of the gas in the enclosure is. Okay, so what are the variables? Pressure, temperature, not the volume. In a container, everything is done in the container. You see, gas has a special property. It occupies the volume of the container. That's all. It occupies the volume of the container. Whether you put some gas in the container, it occupies the full volume. And if you remove some gas, again it occupies the same volume, because molecules go apart, that's all. So because gases are highly compressible and they can be expanded. So they occupy the volume of the container, whatever be the number of moles. So we will use this formula. So volume is a constant. PV is equal to nRT. That is the first formula is, a container has an ideal gas at a pressure of 5 atmosphere, volume is a constant, number of moles N I will take, and the universal gas constant R at a temperature of 300 Kelvin, remember 27 degrees Celsius, which is 300 Kelvin. This is the first equation. What about the second one? What about the pressure in the same container? If 1/3 of the gas is removed, 2/3 is remaining, right? 1/3 is removed. That implies 1 minus 1/3 is remaining. Right? 1/3 is removed, 2/3, 1 minus 1/3 will remain. R. What is the temperature? The increases by 60 plus 60. In Kelvin also by plus 60, 360, right? You convert 87 to Kelvin, you will get again 360. 87, 273, 280, 360, yeah. Now second equation. Question is, what is this, correct? Divided. P by 5. V gets cancelled, okay. Yeah, NR gets cancelled. This is written here, so 2/3. 360 by this 300, am I right? 5, 300, and this 3 comes to the denominator. Here, this P, 2/3, 360, yes, correct. 3 120s are 1, 3 10s are 3 4s are, right? 5 2s are 2 2s are 4 atmosphere, yes, this is the answer. 4 atmosphere. They're very simple problem once you understand it, right? So, but only the glitches you see, where you will, the more traps, there are chances of going wrong. You may be substituting 1/3 only. Suppose you don't have options, after getting the answer, you may think. Suppose there is an option which corresponds to 1/3 also, you will not think, you will just tick it. So there is a chance of going wrong. 24. A partially inflated balloon contains a gas at 1 atmospheric pressure and at a temperature of 27 degrees Celsius. Yeah, a balloon is filled with the gas. A partially inflated balloon contains gas at 1 atmospheric pressure and at a temperature of 27 degrees Celsius. The volume of the gas in the balloon is so much cc. The balloon rises to a height where the temperature is -3 and the pressure is 0.5 atmosphere. The volume of the gas in the balloon is, of course, as the external pressure goes on changing, the balloon will expand, because inside gas inside the balloon will be putting pressure on the balloon membrane. Because of external pressure, it gets balanced. But at one moment, the external pressure, as it decreases, the balloon starts expanding when it goes to the height. That's the story here. So pressure, volume, temperature, all the things are variables. Okay, we will write it. PV is equal to nRT, right? Or mu RT. Pressure, I will put it in atmosphere only. I don't convert it because this is a comparison problem. It is not asked to find out pressure after substituting so many values, or volume, find out the volume and the pressure is so much, and it's not such a problem. In such a problem, pressure should be also be in SI system when temperature is in SI system. Here is only comparison, so let both be in atmospheres, no problem. 1 atmosphere pressure at a temperature. Volume, what about volume? Volume of the balloon is 4 into 10 to the power 8 cc cubic centimeter. I'm not worried because answer must be in meter cube also. One of them is meter cube. Okay, let us try to get it. Now let it be in cc. Is equal to n. Number of moles inside the balloon remain the same because we are not removing the gas. Universal gas constant. First temperature is 300 Kelvin. That is 27 degrees Celsius. The balloon rises to a height where the temperature is -3. -3 means 270 Kelvin, right? 273 minus 3. And number of moles and universal gas constant remaining the same. And where the volume I have not put here, right? Volume, where the pressure has to be calculated. The volume of the gas in the balloon at this point is, volume is substituted, pressure is here I have substituted volume 1 into. So what is the pressure into volume? 0.5 atmospheric pressure. 0.5 into volume. That's what you have to find out. Equation 1, equation 2, right? Divide them. 0.5 into V divided by 4 into 10 to the power 8 volume in the lower heights is equal to, this has to be found out, NR gets cancelled, 270 divided by 300. So 30, 3 tens are, 3 nines are. Okay, then what else we have? V, volume is equal to 9 into 4 into 10 to the power 8. This is cc, cubic centimeter, because this volume is in cubic centimeter. Centimeter cube, cc, because it is 4 into 10 to the power 8 cc. Yeah, 9 into 4 into 10 to the power 8 divided by 0.5 into 10, 5. That's all. 0.5, this here, this here. Yeah, that is equal, volume is equal 36 into 10 to the power 8 divided by 5. That is 7 times 2 times 10 to the power 8 cubic centimeter. Do you have 7.2 into 10 to the power 8 cubic centimeter? No. cc, you have two values of cc. It's not, this is not 7.2 and it is not 10 to the power 8. Then convert it into meter cube. That is the only possibility. 2, second one, correct? Because this is not what is C. It is wrong. Maybe cc, right? 7.2 into 10 to the power 8 meter cube I will convert. 7.2 into 10 to the power 8 cubic centimeter, 10 to the power minus 6 meter cube. Yeah, 8 minus 6 is 2. Correct answer. That is the volume. Direct problem. 25. Water is boiling in a flask over a burner. To reduce its boiling temperature, one must. Yeah, we have to reduce the boiling temperature. You know that, here you must know one thing. On pressure, when pressure is applied, the boiling point decreases. When pressure is applied for liquids, boiling point increases. And that's why the best example is cooking, that cooker, right? Inside the cooker, things will get cooked very quickly. Why? Because the boiling point of water increases when it is put and lid is closed and pressure is increased. And if you remove the pressure, the boiling point, boiling point decreases. It is very difficult to cook in high altitudes, right? Soldiers find it difficult to cook the things when they go to higher altitudes, because the pressure is less. It gets boiled at lower temperatures only. So boiling point decreases when the pressure decreases. Boiling point increases when the pressure increases. Now, water is boiling over a flask, over a burner. To reduce the boiling temperature, one must reduce the surrounding temperature. No. Connect the mouth of the flask to an evacuated chamber. Best one. Because when you connect it to an evacuated chamber, the pressure inside decreases. Then pressure of air inside will decrease. So automatically it will boil at a lower temperature, right? Reduce the boiling temperature. Supply heat at every intake, no. Close the container with an airtight cork. Increase the pressure, increase the boiling point. This will increase the boiling point. So option 2 is the correct one. So here is the 26th problem. In the following PV diagram, what is the relation between the temperature T1 and T2, right? You have been given a graph and you have to find out what is the relation between T1 and T2. And this graph looks like isothermal process. Pressure is inversely proportional to volume at constant temperature. This is at one constant temperature. This is another constant temperature. They are defining it for two different constant temperatures. At one constant temperature, volume is inversely proportional to pressure, graph is drawn. And temperature is changed, another temperature, keeping the temperature, that temperature constant, another graph is drawn. And this is isothermal process. It is very sure. And you see, always in this chapter and also in thermodynamics, very important. Study of graphs itself is a very important part, because you will get some questions on graphs itself. So how to get the answer for this one? Now you can do one thing. You can keep some volume constants. You know that PV is equal to mu RT, right? Something like this. Right. If you keep volume constant, I'll keep the volume constant. That means for both the gases, I will compare them at the same volume. I will compare their behavior at the same volume. How do I compare their behavior in the same volume? take same volume, right? This is the same volume where I do compare them. What is the pressure of this one? What is the pressure of this one? T1, oh, this is wrongly written. It is somewhere here. This is T1 and this is T2. That is what is written in the problem, right? T1 and T2. You see, now this is pressure 2, this is pressure 1. Am I right? Now here itself you will see P1 is greater than P2. What does it mean? Directly proportional to temperature. That is T1 is greater than T2, right? This should be at higher temperature, this should be at lower temperature. Or you can do one more thing, that is you can, do I have any other color chalk? No. Why can't I do it for constant pressure? Let me keep pressure constant, PV equal to mu RT. I'll keep pressure constant, volume is directly proportional to temperature. So what, for one particular pressure, say this one, I'll find out the volumes, right? One particular pressure, say P, not this one, P. This is one volume and this is volume 2 and volume 1, right? This is the volume 1, this is the volume for this one. Again, V1 is greater than V2, correct? And if V1 is greater than V2, definitely T1 is greater than T2. That's how we can conclude. Third option. Okay, 27th. From the following PT graph, pressure versus temperature graph, what inference can be drawn? This is not the answer. From the pressure versus temperature graph, what inference can be drawn? Yeah, we have the graph like this. Here is one graph, here another graph. This is θ1 and this is θ2. And of course here we have pressure versus temperature. Yeah, this is for volume 1 and this is for volume 2. Yeah, we have the slope, right? What is the slope here? Y-axis by x-axis, that is P by T, correct? If you write PV is equal to nRT, then what is the slope of this P by T? Because we have given theta, tan theta is the slope, right? P by T is equal to nR by V, right? I will bring V here. So this is slope. Slope is pressure by temperature, y-axis by x-axis. This is delta P, this is delta V, delta P, delta V, delta T, delta T, delta P. So that is this one. Now slope is highest for this one, theta 2, right? Tan theta 2 is greater than tan theta 1. But slope is inversely proportional to volume. So V2 should be lesser than V1, correct? Tan theta 2 is greater than tan theta 1, that is slope. But slope, which is nothing but tan theta, is inversely proportional to volume. So volume should be reverse case, V2 less than V1, this one. Okay, very easy conclusion once you understand it. We will go to the next problem, 28, correct? Yeah, 28. During an adiabatic process, the pressure of a gas is found to be proportional to cube of the absolute temperature. The ratio of Cp by Cv for the gas is. During an adiabatic process, pressure of a gas is directly proportional to the cube of the absolute temperature. You put it in the mathematical form. Pressure of a gas is directly proportional to cube of the absolute temperature. Pressure of a gas is found to be proportional to cube of the absolute temperature. The ratio of Cp by Cv. Cp by Cv is nothing but gamma. That's what we have to find out, equal to gamma. Now, what is the adiabatic process equation for temperature and pressure? Tp to the power 1 minus gamma by gamma is a constant. That is what is the equation, for standard equation for the adiabatic process when temperature and pressure are variables. You have to bring this into this form. How? You can do it like this. Bring this cube here. Pressure, because we have the power to the power, this one, to the power of pressure we have, the gamma power. Pressure to the power cube root is proportional to T. So I bring this here. Some constant must be proportional to T by P to the power 1 by 3 because I want Tp to the power. So constant must be equal to not proportional to, constant must be equal to Tp to the power minus 1 by 3. Is it okay now? So you have to bring it to that form. First of all, you know that power is in the pressure. So you transfer this power to pressure and multiply and bring it in the form of product, Tp to the power. Tp to the power minus 1 by 3 is a constant. Now compare it this one. So in the place of 1 minus gamma by gamma, you have minus 1 by 3. Correct? Yeah. 3 minus 3 gamma is equal to minus gamma. Correct? 3 minus 3 gamma equal to minus gamma. Bring this here. 3 gamma minus gamma. 3 is equal to 2 gamma. 3 by 2 is equal to gamma. 1.5. 3 by 2 itself we have. Fourth option. Yeah. So only the equation and comparison. 29. An ideal gas is initially at a temperature T and volume V. Its volume is increased to delta V due to an increase of temperature delta T. The pressure remaining constant. The quantity delta V by V into delta T varies with temperature as yes. And actually, if you have studied theory, this is a theoretical question. But if you have not studied theory, try to bring this. You see, what they are doing is, an ideal gas is taken, its volume is V, it is increased to delta V, its volume is increased by delta V actually it should be. Due to an increase in temperature of delta T, pressure is remaining constant. The quantity delta is equal to delta V by V into delta T. What is this actually? Is it not coefficient of volume expansion? The fractional change in volume per degree rise of temperature. So that delta is drawn in one axis and temperature in another axis. What is the graph? So we will see the relation between them. For a gas, you know that delta, that is delta V by V into delta T is equal to coefficient of volume expansion. Fractional change in volume per degree rise of temperature. This is actually inversely proportional to temperature. How, sir? You can do it like this. PV equal to mu RT. Raise the temperature by delta T and increase the volume, not to, by delta V. This should be by delta V. Increase the volume by delta V. Then what happens? P into V plus delta V must be equal to mu R into T plus delta T. Now subtract these two equations. What you will get? Or I will write it PV plus P delta V is equal to mu RT plus mu R delta T. Now subtract these two equations. PV plus P delta V minus PV. P delta V is equal to, what you will get? P delta V remains PV P delta V minus PV. Here mu R into delta T. Here mu RT gets cancelled. Mu R delta T. Right? So, okay. Now, PV equal to mu RT. That can be substituted here, I think. PV equal to mu RT. So, by RT, mu RT, I have to get it, mu RT. Or I can do it like this. PV equal to mu RT, P delta V is equal to mu R delta T. Delta V by V into, okay. P, instead of P if I substitute PV equal to mu RT, V, what is P? Mu RT by V, right? If I substitute it, instead of P, mu RT by V into delta V. So this is substituted as this one. Mu RT by V into delta V is equal to mu R delta T. Mu R gets cancelled. What you will get? See, delta V by V by delta T, you bring this T here, delta T here. What you will get? Delta V by V, delta V by V by delta T is equal to 1 by T, correct? That means coefficient of volume expansion of any gas. So better you remember this conclusion. Coefficient of volume expansion of any gas is inversely proportional to temperature. That is what is drawn on y-axis. What's the temperature? This graph. Why? It is inversely proportional. Any inversely proportional graph should resemble like this. So that is the answer. So better you have this theory idea that coefficient of volume expansion of any gas is inversely proportional to temperature. Okay, 29, 30. The volume of a gas is increased by 10% at constant temperature. The pressure of the gas. It is the same problem. What did we solve earlier ones, right? the volume of the gas is increased by 10%. Okay, pressure is inversely proportional volume. Last time it was decreased by 10%, right? Now new pressure, volume is increased by 10%, means 1.1 V. 10%. If it is 100, 110. If it is 1.1. What is the new pressure? P dash by P is equal to 1.1 V here and V here. Gets cancelled. P dash is equal to P divided by 1.1. It is 0.999, right? P decreases by 10%, correct? 0.9 is decreasing by 10%, correct? It decreases by 10%. Yeah, 1.1. No, it is okay, not 0.99p. It is 1.1, right? 1.1 means it is 10p by 11. So what is the answer? 0.9. 0.9. Almost 0.9 p, correct? Yeah, almost 0.9 p. Yes. So decrease by 10%. Third option. Yeah. 31. The pressure of pressure inside a tire is made 4 atmosphere at 27 degrees Celsius. Okay. If the tire bursts suddenly, new temperature will be. Yes. See, so many things are hidden inside this. It's a tire, pressure inside a tire, vehicle tire for example. Suddenly it bursts. Once it bursts, the air will come out, and now the open tube is exposed to air. What is the new pressure? Atmospheric pressure. It suddenly releases to atmospheric pressure. It is an adiabatic process, all of a sudden. Without any, there is no time for exchange of heat energy there. Even after some time, of course, they will exchange heat energy, and of course, the temperature will equalize. But all of a sudden, at that process, during the fraction of time when it bursts, it is adiabatic. There is no time gap for the exchange of heat energy. And moreover, air is a bad conductor of heat. It doesn't exchange heat energy so quickly. So, the pressure inside a gas is 4 atmosphere at 27. Suddenly it bursts. What is the new temperature? Fight is between, kabaddi match is between pressure and temperature. You know that pressure is pressure and temperature, adiabatic process. Tp to the power 1 minus gamma by gamma is a constant. What do you mean by that? Initial temperature and pressure to the power 1 minus gamma by gamma must be equal to final temperature and pressure 1 minus gamma by gamma. What type of gas? Gamma is given. Gamma varies 7 by 5. It is already given, so no problem. Initial temperature 300 because it is 27 degrees Celsius. Why this arrow mark? And pressure, initial pressure is 4 atmosphere. Let me take it as 4 atmosphere only. 1 minus gamma by gamma, 1 minus 7 by 5 by 7 by 5. Power itself is a big quantity, right? 4 cannot hold it at all, such a big power, 1 minus 7. But problem is easy. 1 minus 7 by 5 by 7 by 5 is equal to T2, second temperature. Don't know, the new temperature will be, new pressure is 1 atmosphere. Whatever be the power, it is 1. 1 to the power, everything is 1. Okay? 300, 4 to the power, 4 atmosphere. 1 minus 7 by 5 by 7 by 5. How much it is? 1 minus 7 by 5 is minus 2 by 5 by 7 by 5. Correct? 1 minus is minus 2 by 5. Then it comes to 5 gets cancelled. Minus 2 by 7 is equal to, correct? 1 by 5. Yeah, minus 2 by 7 is equal to T2. 300 into 4 to the power minus 2 by 7. Yeah, fourth option. Or you can write it as 300 divided by 4 to the power plus 2 by 7. Because x to the power m minus m is 1 by x to the power m. That is T2. So option 4. Yeah, you see what happens here is, we will get one more problem very similar to this. I have not put it together. You will get it after some numbers. You see, if 300 by 4 to the power 2 by 7, this number will be definitely greater than 1, right? Denominator is definitely greater than 1 because square root of 1 or cube root of 1 or anything root of 1 is 1. Anything greater than 1, its square root, cube root will be greater than 1 itself. So this 4 to the power 2 by 7, it definitely will be greater than 1. When this is greater than 1, answer will be lesser than 300. What do you mean by answer lesser than 300? New temperature is lesser than the initial temperature, 27. That means when the air gets suddenly expanded, adiabatic expansion, its temperature falls. That is what you have to conclude here. Answer may be this one. Its temperature falls when it suddenly expands. Sir, suppose a balloon expands suddenly very close to your face. Will you get cold air then? Compared to the previous, it is a cold air. It will be cool air. Sir, anything if it bursts in front of our face, our face gets damaged. Remember, that damage is not because of heat energy. That is because of sudden release of pressure. So something will be hitting your, molecules will be hitting your face. That may cause damage, but temperature won't cause damage. When the gas cylinder bursts, if there is fire, that is because of the inflammable property of that gas. It may catch fire because of some other reason, not because of increase in temperature of the gas. When the gas suddenly expands, it cools. Suppose it is an inflammable gas, if it catches a small fire, then it bursts out. But when a gas, really when it expands suddenly, it cools down, its temperature decreases. So that is one conclusion. We will come across that problem again. Yeah. A gas is compressed adiabatically till its temperature is doubled. Okay? We'll rub all these confusing tick marks. Yes, clean board now. A gas is compressed adiabatically till its temperature is doubled. Temperature is one fighter now, kabaddi match. The ratio of its final volume to volume is another one. Compressed adiabatically. Temperature and volume. So this is how we have to go. First process, adiabatic. Next variables, temperature and volume. Tv to the power gamma minus 1 is a constant. T2 V2 to the power gamma minus 1. A gas is compressed adiabatically till its temperature is doubled. T to T. The ratio of its initial and final volume. V1 to the power, gamma is not given, right? Adiabatically, okay. V1 to the power gamma minus 1, V2 to the power gamma minus 1, which gamma is not given. Gas is compressed, that's all. So we want V1 by V2 to the power gamma minus 1. I'll bring this here. That is equal to 2. Ratio of final volume to initial volume. Okay. Final volume to initial volume, gamma minus 1 is equal to 1 by 2. 1 by 2 to the power 1 by gamma minus 1. If you have square here, square root. If you have cube here, cube root. 1 by gamma minus 1 is equal to V2 by V1. So what is the ratio of final volume to the initial volume? 1 by 2 to the power 1 by gamma minus 1. Is it less than half? Greater than half? Between 1? Yes, this should be less than half, because half itself is 0.5. Any fraction, its power will decrease, right? It is less than half, because if you, for example, 0.5 square, what is the answer? 0.25, less. So if fraction is squared or cubed, you will get lesser answer. So this is a fraction, 0.5. So answer is less than half. This is very sure. And no other answer will tally. It will not be exactly half. Never, it is never equal to half. More than half, not possible. Between 1 and 2, of course, it is more than half, not possible. So because these two answers will give ambiguity, right? That is not possible. It is less than half. Yes. 33. When a gas is enclosed in a closed vessel, was heated so as to increase its temperature by 5 degrees Celsius, its pressure was seen to have increased by 1%. Okay? The initial temperature of the gas was nearly. When a gas is enclosed in a closed vessel, that means volume is not allowed to change. When a gas is enclosed in a closed vessel and was heated so as to increase its temperature by 5 degree plus 5, its pressure was seen to have increased by 1%. The initial temperature of the gas is nearly. Okay, now closed in a closed vessel was heated to increase temperature, pressure, and volume remaining the constant. Pressure is directly proportional to temperature. It is not adiabatic process, it is isothermal, because heat is exchanged between the body and the surroundings. It is heated to raise its temperature, right? Pressure is directly proportional to temperature. P by T is a constant. P1 by T1 must be equal to P2 by T2, right? What is the initial pressure? so as to increase the temperature, pressure was found to be increased by 1%. So this is P. 1% means 1.01 P. Why? Because 10% makes 110. 1% makes 101. Increase of 1% means 101. In terms of 1.01. 1.01 P. And what about temperature? Temperature increases by 5 degree. In Kelvin also it increases by 5. So T plus 5. Now what is the question? The initial temperature of the gas, T itself has to be found out. P gets cancelled. Hope you have followed, right? P is directly proportional to T. Pressure of a gas is directly proportional to absolute temperature. P by D is a constant. P1 by T1, P2 by T2, P by T. So here the new pressure is 1% extra. New temperature is 5 degree more. Increases by temperature 5 degrees Celsius. By 5 Kelvin, because increase the difference is always same in Kelvin and degree. Okay, what is the new temperature? Multiply T plus 5 is equal to, this is here, this is 1.01 T. 5 is equal to 1.01 minus 1.01 minus 1 into T. I'm very bad in fractions. 0.99 1, correct? 1 and no, right? Oh, it's 0.01. 5 is equal to 0.01 T. 1.01 minus 1, 0.01 T. T is equal to, okay, this is by 0.01. That means into 100, 500 Kelvin. Yes, we have got the answer. 500 Kelvin. Yes, 33 is over. 34. For a gas, gamma is equal to 5 by 3. And its volume is 800 cc. The gas is suddenly compressed to 100 cc. The ratio of initial pressure to final pressure will be. Okay, we will stop at this problem because we are running short of time now. Yeah. For a gas, gamma is 5 by 3 and its volume is 800 cc. Okay, the gas is suddenly compressed to 100. Volume is a variable. Initial pressure to final pressure. Volume is inverse. It is an adiabatic process. For a, suddenly compressed. No question of exchange of heat energy. All the processes are sudden processes are adiabatic because there is no time gap for the heat energy exchange. So PV to the power gamma is a constant because pressure and volume are variables. P1 V1 to the power gamma, P2 V2 to the power gamma. What is P1 V1 to the power gamma? Pressure 1, the gas is suddenly compressed to 100 cc, 800 cc. 800 cc 5 by 3. 100 cc 5 by 3. The ratio of initial to final pressure P1 P2, P1 by P2 is equal to 100 by 800 to the power 5 by 3 common by 8 cube root of 8 2 to the power 5. Yeah, because see this is 1 by 2 to the power 5 by 3. Cube root of 1 by 8 to the power 5 by 3. 1 up to the power anything is 1. This is 1 times. 8 to the power cube root is 2. To the power 5 is 32. Correct? 2 2s are 4. 4 4s are 16. 4 times over. 1 more 2. 32. Yes. So with this I will stop the class now for the time being. And I'll come up with the later problems, 35, 36. Actually, I have up to 40 problems. So we'll continue it in the next class. Thanks for watching my class. Please subscribe my channel so that you'll get the information whenever I upload some videos. And take care of your health. We will meet in the next class with more questions. So if I get time, I will record more and more videos, and all of a sudden I may upload it. But for the time being, I'm able to put only one video at a time. Thank you. We will meet in the next class.